Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Russia will not allow Ukraine become a NATO state or a Al Capone vassal state. That's for sure. Russia will fight till the end. NATO will not fight till the end. Why? Because NATO is soft. And Ukraine will run out of people, and the people in the West who are strong, some of them, and most of them, I would say, not that strong as in any other society, will start hurting. And once their latte, the soybean latte becomes a little bit more expensive, so they can't lactate anymore, they will start voting and starting whining. And then they will say, Ukraine, sorry, nice try, bye-bye, bye. We're going to let you to the Russians. Now what's going on here? Russia will say directly that it will not allow the existence of a, what they call, Nazi state on its border. So as long as Russia will consider Ukraine a Nazi state, which they can, claim that even there's no Ukrainian living in Ukraine anymore, they can say, it's a Nazi state over there, then until they can do that, they will not allow that state, Ukraine, to exist. They will need to control it. Basically, this is what is Maria Zakharova saying in this article from Russia Today. Here it is. Let me see. All right. 9th of December 2023. Russia won't allow the existence of NATO, Nazis, I'm sorry, NATO, yeah, the same thing. No. Nazi state on its border. Currently, neither the West nor Kiev show the political will for peace, Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said. Very intelligent woman. Now put this together with this thing. Sputnik, from today again, Russia won't agree to Minsk 3.0 deal on Ukraine. Here is why. So we're not going to negotiate and we're going to make another deal, you implement that, we're going to have, countries that are going to be the guarantors, like we got fooled by Germany and Poland. I forgot about Poland. They were part of the three guarantors, Poland, Germany, and France. Remember in the Minsk agreements, they were over there as well, and they didn't give a shit. They didn't even intervene. Why? They allowed and they armed Ukraine. They were ready for this actually. How did they know that? They had no intention of implementing that. That is negotiating in bad faith. Remember, that became international law once it was started and signed. Went to the United Nations, became international law. They were bad dudes, but hey, we're not supposed to remember that one. So the Russians say, we're not going to negotiate. We're going to fulfill why we intervened in Ukraine. 4 reasons. Remember? The recognitions of our people that will become independent and now they're part of Russia. Denazification, no NATO for you guys, and then demilitarization. That's what's going to be. And they will fulfill all of those. Now, if they need to reach the border of Poland, they will do so in order to do that. And Russians will not stop. They will not stop. So that's what Zakharova basically says. You can keep dreaming because right now Ukraine is a little bit in a bad shape. So there are some voices in the West. Let's negotiate. They will negotiate after the 4 things. The 4 things that I just mentioned are non-negotiable. You can negotiate those. So no, non-negotiable. Nothing, 0. Then they're going to talk about something else. Who's who, what's what, and details. But those 4 will be, we are going to control Ukraine. Maybe with someone else together, if we feel like. It depends how far you guys go. That's all I'm going to say. If you go that far, we're going to control Ukraine 100%. If you play ball, then we're going to let you, we're going to have a joint, control. Al Capone and the Russians, I'm guessing. So let's see what else Zakharova has to say here. Currently, neither okay, Moscow will not allow Ukraine to continue being a Nazi state, end quote. This is like the war against terror. When it's over, Never, as long as it works in my interest. The same here. We're gonna work and fight against these guys as long as we want, and we're not gonna be satisfied with the outcome until we reach our goals. That poses a threat to both Russia and other nations. I don't know why these guys really, to be straight here, I don't know why these guys are still hiding. Like Zakharova, she didn't have to say that. She should have said that, no, we will not allow a NATO country, member state to our borders. Right here. Even though, unfortunately, they have Estonia. Right? And I think, I don't know, Latvia, I don't think Latvia has, no, it doesn't have, I think only Estonia has border with, or now Finland. And you have Norway. So actually they can't really say that, because or they can say no more NATO state member, and we not allow Ukraine to be part of NATO, because that's one of the 4 reasons. They don't go under the Nazi state and all that. Well, okay, well, whatever you want to do it that way, it's your choice, but I don't know, it's a little bit mushy. In an exclusive interview with Agence France Presse published on Saturday, I have to read that or watch it if it is. Zakharova confirmed that the goals of denazification and demilitarization of Ukraine, as declared by Russian President Vladimir Putin at the onset of the conflict in February 2022, remain unchanged. They will not go halfway and turn around. No, you got us in, that's it, buddy. We're gonna go all the way. According to Zakharova, the events surrounding the Ukrainian crisis have underscored Russia's belief in the necessity of launching its special military operation. And here she says, from the very beginning of the hostilities, the Ukrainian neo-Nazis have been cynically using the civilian population as, oh, you can't use this, only Israel can use this, human shields, and brutally threatening the Russian prisoners of war. Brutally treating, okay, Russian prisoners of war. You can't use human shields, only Israel can use that, man. Their main goal is in this conflict is to kill as many Russians as possible, Zakharova explained. And I'm quoting, we will not allow the existence on our borders of an aggressive Nazi state from whose territories there is a danger for Russia and its neighbors. That's it. What are they going to do about it? Nothing. Asked about the prospects of somehow settling the conflict. Remember that right here? Where is it? Come on. You see? That's the answer regarding settling the conflict. Asked about prospects of somehow settling the conflict, Zakharova said that the only way to reach a quote-unquote lasting peace was effectively meeting all of Russia's demands. And I'm quoting, it is necessary to confirm the neutral, non-aligned and nuclear-free status of Ukraine, carry out its demilitarization and denazification, acknowledge new territorial realities, and ensure the rights of the Russian-speaking citizens and national minorities living in this country, she explained. The Ukrainians said there's no such a thing as a Russian-speaking citizen in Ukraine. I don't think they exterminated all the Russian-speaking people over there. But if that's so, yeah, maybe they're right. The spokeswoman also confirmed that Russia remains ready to resolve the conflict through diplomacy, stating that Moscow has never refused to do so. However, to make such negotiations possible, and I'm quoting, the Kiev regime and its Western curators must take practical steps and show goodwill. Curators. Thus far, neither of them have shown such political will, she added. And I'm quoting, a comprehensive, sustainable and just resolution of the conflict over Ukraine depends to a large extent on addressing its very causes. The West must stop pumping up the Ukrainian military with weaponry, while Kiev must cease hostilities and withdraw its troops from Russian territory, Zakharova explained, referring to the 4 formerly Ukrainian regions, Zaporozhye, Kherson, and the Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republics, that were incorporated into Russia after referenda last fall. They didn't mention, you know what they didn't mention? Crimean Peninsula. Is it Crimean Peninsula part of Kherson or something? So, very clear. They said it, Consistency. They say it over and over again. They never deviate left or right. These guys here interpret whatever, however they want, what those guys are saying or not saying. Remember, these guys say this: Russia is not ready to negotiate. Russia doesn't want to negotiate. Russia is this, Russia is that. Why don't you ask them what they say and what they do? It's like I say, oh, you're not ready for this. Don't be what I'm ready for or not. You're not my boss. Or people come and ask you, are you ready? And say, I'm ready. You're not ready. Why do you ask me then? I mean, it's like someone tells someone else how you feel. Why don't you ask me? And when I say, this guy intervenes and say, no, he's not feeling that way. I tell you what he really feels. Since when you have that right? And let me guess, do I have the same right to tell him what you feel? Oh, no. When you treat it like this for generations, I think you feel like smacking that person in the, okay? So I think that's the way the Russians feel when they're treated and patronized by the Western countries that think they are somehow superior. Well, in many ways they have some advantages, in many ways they don't. And I think the West, unfortunately, the culture, the civilization goes down, and economically is going down, and that's of their own doing. Their own doing. You'll see the West will collapse slowly economically, and some other countries, other regions will rise, and they're going to meet in the middle. That's what's going to be. And at that point, probably going to meet, don't own anything but be happy. Remember that idiot Schwab? All right, well, that's what's going to happen. And it's going to be only not the fault, because it's the goal, but that's going to be the fault of the Western people who agreed their capital to be invested somewhere else and technology transferred over there and investments made over there. Therefore, you get that up and you go down. Why do you go down? Because you are too spoiled. That's what they say now. You're too spoiled. We don't need a spoiled laborer. We need a hungry laborer, like from China, from those guys from Vietnam that will work for 3 cents an hour. I'm exaggerating. Don't get so upset, China. Take it easy, okay? Those guys that are hungry, they don't have almost anything and they want more. You already have it. You're spoiled. So you are fat and lazy. I'm generalizing, okay? And these guys are not. They are thin, hungry, and they want to achieve things. That's why we're going to invest there. We're going to pay them less. We're going to sell it to you. We're going to subsidize you with money that we print, and supposedly you do something. These guys grow, and then we're going to drop you like a hot potato because you're just a fat, lazy individual of no good for me. And you're going to just... Consumer, we're going to have these guys right here. And who needs too much, right? Some people say, hey, how about Malthus, Thomas Malthus, the population control? What are we going to do with that one? Oh, no, it's just nature. Thank you very much for being with me again today. So Russia will not allow, as much as these guys are still in charge in Russia, for Ukraine to become a vassal state of NATO / Al Capone. Will not. And Al Capone will be too fat and lazy to fight. Russians are still hungry. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.